Let me see. And we want to, and I want to welcome everyone to King James Bible University Precept Mastery. And today we're going to be going through our weekly Israelite studies. So, and the same thing is, well, what you're going to notice a lot of, they're doing a lot of changes. We're doing a lot of changes to curb a lot of things. So the main thing is, if people want to ask questions and do certain things that matter, you have to actually be over in KJBU website, so you can log in to where you can go into the Zoom side of the class, and you can go right in. And the chat area over here is actually disabled for YouTube, and they actually had that right there automatically. So if you want to do it, log into KJBU. You can automatically, as soon as you go in there, you can go to the calendar, or you just go to the Israelite Weekly Studies. You click on it and you'll see the link, and it takes you directly into it without any issues. We're doing that for a lot of other matters, but the main thing is we want to make sure that everything is straightforward and continually move forward. And now this way, to where questions will be asked, and it's going to be more directed towards the people, to where we can talk to, and not sitting there not knowing who we actually speaking with. Back here, we can pretty much know who we speaking with, and we know we're dealing with at all times. So we're doing that for that reason. And we're also going to be going through the preparing your body for God. And the reason why we go through this, and this is the second part of the weekly study for the new book. And we have set in there, which we're going to start finding out. It has a lot of parts where you're just going to see the statement, supporting statement, clarification. And I need you, if you have the book, make sure you have it available, because we're going to be looking at things that you actually need to see. I need to make sure we got some stuff already set up. So I need to make sure that is there. 1 second. I just want to make sure some stuff is there. And we are good. So we are good here. So the main thing is, I don't know why that picture always comes over there. So what I want to make sure of is that everybody, I need that other browser up. Got that up. So I need to make sure that everybody is good in the back end, and I want to make sure we have not too many. It's not too bad. We have a little bit more than about 8-9 people in there right now, and I want to make sure that everybody that's going through here actually, if we have any questions based on and how we want to do this and how you're going to approach this, and based on a lot of people who's back here even right now, is based on, even with the class that we went through yesterday on the written communication, we have to first approach the overall view to understand preparing your body for God. That's something you need to think about. And we basing that on 1 Kings chapter 5, 1 through 1 Kings to chapter 6, and going up to 38. And just to think about that, we have to look over the entire part and try to understand how you're going to prepare your body for God. And we're looking at something where we're trying to see, spiritual, and we have to take it away from this carnal side. So I just want to see anyone who want to just take a shot at this and might hit dead on. And I just want to see, based on, if you already read it, based on that, how is this going to be happening? Because Solomon said something and he was talking to someone else, but I want to know how was this as a body being prepared? Do anybody have any statements or comments based on the heading of this here? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna push that over there to where we can see it, and we want to look at this in its entirety. Let me pull that over there. And currently, right now, I'm not seeing any hands. But anyone want to take a look at that? So I want to sit there and see. I want to sit there and see if I can get this over here. And that's more so what I want to do. So right now we have no one currently, need to pull that over there. We have no one currently want to actually tackle this. And I'm trying to find out, I'm just trying to adjust my screens and stuff is basically all I'm doing. And keep that up. So I want to just sit there and see, do anybody want to take a look at that to see anything different there? That's what I want to know. Based on this here, were we preparing your body for the Most High? Do anybody have anything there? And this is not based on the other side. This is all based inside the class now. And basically, we're going to be looking at this as a worldview. And right now, I still have no one there. So we don't have anyone that's actually want to take a stab at it. Well, we have one that's actually going to take a stab at it. So we're going to sit here. We're going to go with Brother Smalls.
Okay. So looking at this, we're saying a body has been prepared for him.
Mm-hmm. Hello?
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah. So looking at this as a whole, and if you look at the scripture text that we're going through, I'm trying to see how we're going to approach this to see what's going on. Because as I said, as we're going to go through here and we see in the first part, which we're going to be marking all this up. All this is going to be marked up. So because we know this is a statement and we have to put this there to where this is a Hebraic style view. So we got to put the statements and supporting statements and everything there. But what we're going to do, we're going to section these out and we're going to find out what is being said. And with this, we have to flip this from the carnal side, which is that's what this is showing right now. We need to flip this over to the spiritual side to find out what is actually being shown here, that the Most High, because he put this here because he wants us to see something. So we're trying to see what he wants us to see.
First, I'm saying that I'm looking at he sent his servants onto Solomon.
Mm-hmm.
That's not physically able to happen.
Okay.
For he had heard that they had anointed him king in the room of his father.
So how can we approach this where we prepare our body based on what's going on? Based on what's going on in here, because we got to find out first, if we're going to prepare our body and we're going to prepare our bodies here, is he talking about preparing one body, or is he looking at us as a whole, as a bunch of bodies, and how he's going to get those ready? Because this is the overview on what we're going to see, and then we're going to hone in on it. And brother, yeah, go ahead. I'm gonna bring up Brother Lynn also.
Shalom, Elder.
Hey, shalom.
Elder, I would direct your attention to 1 Kings 5 and 18.
Okay, so let's go down. I'm gonna go down to 18, and that's good you staying in there because we're trying to find out directly in there and not going somewhere else, because we want to understand what's happening. So I'm gonna go down to 18. It said, and Solomon builders and harems builders did hew them in the stone quarries, so they prepared timber and stone to build the house. So this here is, what is this? Stone squares. So what is this? So what is this talking about? Because right now we got the builders and we have did hew them. I don't know what they hewed, and we have stones. So I don't know. I don't quite know what's going on.
It would appear that this would be as a group that they're readying their bodies and preparing their bodies for the Most High.
Yeah. Okay. So I get that. But right now we saying, okay, this is Hiram's builders did hewn. So I don't know what they hewn out. I really don't. So if we jump down to 18, I don't know what happened. So we got to find out there what went on and everything. This is why I say it's gonna be real important, and it actually is one of the best exercise to where we can get an entire spiritual view on what the Most High is actually trying to do with us. The best thing.
15.
Which one?
Sorry. 5 and 15.
So we're gonna go up to 15. It says, and Solomon had 10,000 to bear burdens and 80,000 hewers in the mountains. So this here we cannot technically use either because it's still telling us something different. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna look at a couple of things. We're gonna look at a couple of things, and then we're gonna come back again, and we're gonna get more clarification with everybody to show you exactly how to do this. So let's go back up, and we're gonna go back up, and we're gonna read down, and after we read down, I'm gonna come back and we're gonna start sectioning out this verse. We're gonna section out the verse, and next to the statements, we got to put next to the statements exactly what it's saying. So this is how we're gonna do that. Because what we have to find out spiritually, how to prepare our body for it. So the only way we can find out spiritually, we have to see how it's done physically. Because spiritually, we can't, those are things we cannot see. So if we can't see it, we have to see something physical to know how to do something spiritual. So he shows us this way. It says, in Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servants unto Solomon. But you see, now you're going to do a supporting statement. For he had heard that he had anointed him king in the room of his father. Another supporting statement, we're going to define all this, what it's talking about. And he says, for him was ever a lover of David. Another statement, which we're going to find out what all these are, because we're going to figure this out, because these are statements, we have to separate those into what they are. And it says, and Solomon sent to Hiram, saying, thou knowest how that David, my father, could not build a house unto the name of Yahweh, his God, for the wars which were about him on every side, until Yahweh put them under the soles of his feet. But now Yahweh, my God, have given me rest on every side, so that there is neither adversary nor evil occurring. But he goes on more. And behold, I propose to build a house unto the name of Yahweh my God, as Yahweh spake unto David my father, saying, thy son whom I will set upon thy throne in thy room, he shall build a house unto my name. Now we know, and before I go down, we know what's going on, because now Solomon is going to build a house. What we're going to see physically and what we're going to see in the scriptures, you have to be able to turn this over spiritually. If we don't, we're going to lose the entire thing. This is how this actually works. This is why yesterday in that class, we're going to exercise some of that, but that's over on the other side in that class there. Because we got to exercise that exact same thing. And I want you guys later to apply that to where you'll see what I was talking about. Now we're going to sit here and we're going to look at what's going on. And it says, now therefore, now for that reason, command thou that they hew me out cedar trees. See, when you ran me to 18, this is what we was looking for. The cedar trees. But we need to figure out what are cedar trees. So we need to figure this out and to find out how we're going to prepare ourselves. Let me see, can I get that? Oh, I'm already right there. I didn't even know it. So we need to figure out how we're going to figure out cedar trees. because it says out of Lebanon. So we have another thing here, out of Lebanon. Why is these two so important? Because this tells us everything, a lot of stuff, what we need to know. We need to prepare our bodies for the Most High God. So we see in here, and he said, and this is Solomon speaking. So he said, therefore, I command thou that ye hew me out cedar trees, plural, out of Lebanon. We got to find out what all this stuff is. And it says, and my servants shall be with thy servants, and unto thee I will give hire for thy servants according to all that thou shalt appoint. Supporting statement. What are you going to appoint? For thou knowest that there is not among us any that can skill to hew timber like the Sidonians. So we need to figure out what all this is. And this is a key place where we need to stop. Because this here is going to tell you a couple of things on what we're going to do. This is going to tell you a couple of things on what we're going to do. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to see if I can put, some things here. No, dang it. Let me see. I don't want that there. Yeah, I didn't want that. I want to put something else here. I want to put a comment there. And it won't let me put a comment here. I don't know why these. Oh, won't tell you why? Because I'm grabbing the wrong thing. Okay, so what we want to find out is this. I'm gonna put this here, but the reason I'm gonna put that there, and I'm gonna change that. I want to change that symbol. I want to change that symbol for a reason. Now, if anybody else has anything else, if you have this in electronic, you can do it this way. And if not, I'm just trying to see something else to where I can do it. And I'm just going to use a star. I'm just going to use something simple that's straight. So we need to figure out these cedar trees. So I want to put this here, and we have to figure out, and what I'm going to be putting there is verses. That's why I'm going to do that. So what we're going to do is, so we need to find precepts to this. And the only way we can do it is we have to go through. So we need to figure out what's going on some of them. So let me pull this. Let me pull my, I need to figure out, I thought I had that up there and I actually don't. So let me pull up another, I'm gonna pull up another Bible thing. Let me log into KJBU and go to the Bible to where I can get that in there. And then I'm gonna pull it over here to where we can see it. And I thought I had that up, but I didn't. So just give me one quick second and we're gonna look at that, because we want to find out exactly what are cedar trees, and we have to find out what these are spiritually. We don't find out what they are spiritually, we technically going to be wasting our time going through something that we cannot actually find nowhere in Scripture. So let me go into the Book of Remembrance, and now I can pull this over here, and we have it right there. So what I'm doing is so we have everything there. I'm going to change this size. Change the color a little bit. So what we want to do, we want to look at a couple of things. We're going to look at a couple of things while we're back here. So we want to see what cedar trees are spiritually, and we have to put them in. First place we need to check, we're going to go over here. We're going to get some information, and we're going to go to Isaiah. We're going to go to Isaiah. We're going to go to chapter 44. So you write these down, because we're going to talk we're going to talk through this, and we're going to get through it. So we're going to go to 44. We want to go to 14. It says, he hewed them down cedars, and taketh up cypress and oaks, which he strengthened for himself. The trees of the forest he planted in ash, and rain doeth nourish it. So we're seeing something going on here. We're seeing something that's going on here. So as you go up, it says the carpenter stretches out his rule and marketh out his line and fitteth it with planes and marketh it out and compasseth, maketh it figure of a man according to the beauty of a man, that they may remain in the house. This is what's going on. And what does it do? And he hewed him down cedar trees. Cedar trees. So we have to make sure we have these labeled out. And I'm trying to make sure, I got it way over here. So we have to make sure we have this in there. So we want to put in Isaiah, and we want to look at that 44 and 13, 14. And we know we know this now. We know that now. Actually, I need to keep that up there. And if I need to keep it up, let me open on pop-up so we can make sure that that stays there. Yeah, so we can keep it there. And I don't know why it's doing that. There we go. Well, we'll just keep it. Actually, dang it. I had it going. Okay, we'll just keep that like that. I ain't gonna bother it no more. Okay, so we know this is one of them. So if we know this is one of them, we know, however, we have to look at what was they trying to do against these cedar trees. So if these are cedar trees, and cedar trees is starting to be in a relations to humans, and he's talking about preparing in the hew out cedar trees, he's talking about cleaning something out. He has to clean all that inside out. But we also have another issue with what goes against that with the cedar trees. And how do we do this? We're gonna look at scripture again, and we're gonna get more information. As I said when I was telling you guys yesterday, we have to look at everything. So we're gonna go to Judges. And we're going to, why? Because we're going to get some information there. We're going to go to chapter 9, and we're going to go down to verse. We're going to start at verse, we could start at 13, but I'm going to go down to 14. And it says, then said all the trees unto the bramble, come thou and reign over us. So we having us seeking something that we're trying to physically see. So is that going to prepare you for God? No, because that's where you shouldn't be seeking. But watch this. And the bramble said unto the trees, if in truth ye anoint me king over you, then come and put your trust in my shadow. And if not, let fire come out of the bramble and devour the cedars of Lebanon. Why is it saying it even in this matter? Because he's removing something that is carnal, and he's moving it to spiritual. Why? Because this bramble you can see. And we go into people, we go into money, we go into everything else, and we want to anoint that over us. He's saying the same thing. So if you put that over you, and you do something wrong and you come out, what he said, let fire come out. Why? Because if you put your trust in my shadow and I let the fire come out, I'm gonna devour the cedars of Lebanon. And it's gonna get way deeper than this. Way deeper than this. But we have to understand when you're looking at something spiritual, we can't see it most times because we're looking at everything face value and it's carnal. We cannot be doing this. We cannot afford to sit there and we want to anoint something over us to prepare our bodies for God. But this is what we're doing. And he's telling you, even in here, physical to where you can see the spiritual. So if you can go out and you can see cedar trees, he's telling you, you are cedars of Lebanon, which we're going to find out even more about that information. And this is what we have to do. But we want to anoint things over us. What sense do that make? And just to see what you can anoint over you based in the back, I want to see by anybody, I want to see what will you anoint over you? Or what have you anointed over you in the past? Because this is what we've done. He's telling you we did this and we got to put that in there. But what have we done already in the past, or what have you done in the past, and you anointed this, and it's saying you anointed that over you. And we have Sister Clark. Sister Clark.
We was making crosses.
Yeah, no, but what have you done? So you had a cross.
Yeah. I
You
was
anointed a cross over you, saying you tied to it through Jesus being dying on the cross and anointed that as God.
Right.
Exactly what we have done. Exactly what we have done. Not only you, I don't worry about it because I've done it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and Brother Mac.
Could we say also a pastor, a man, because we figure he was God over us and we trust him, give him all our money.
So the same thing. Is that something you have done?
Yeah, I
put my trust in exactly what you have done.
I paid money for those pastor anniversaries.
Okay, so you put a man and was putting money at his foot. And you put your trust in that man, as it's saying right here in the Bible. And if you did something wrong, he said what? Let fire come out of the bramble and devour you. And if you did something that was contrary to him, what happened?
I was cast out.
So
I was devoured. I was devoured.
So you saying what the same thing this Bible saying right here?
Yeah.
Okay. All right, Brother Elder Smith.
Well, Brother Max said it also. I was saying money, religion,
okay,
all the earthly, physical things.
Yeah,
we put over it.
Yeah. So my thing is, what I'm asking is, what have you promoted over God that you did to relate it to where you see it physical?
I would say employment.
Employment. So you put employment, which is a heavy one, you put that over and you valued that over God. And if you did anything wrong, they'll devour you.
Yes.
But our loyalty, for whatever reason, we kept our loyalty to that employment more than we keep our loyalty to God.
Yes. For example, Elder, before I came into the truth, I didn't follow the Sabbath.
Mm-hmm.
If they said work, I worked.
Yeah. And see, now based on that, and not something that you did because you said, hey, I want to do the Sabbath, but they say, hey, work, you did it either for extra money or it was just enjoyment.
Yes. Extra money usually, but it was a sign a lot of times, and I just did it, enjoyment.
Yeah. And see,
so I was wrong all the way.
Yeah, and seeing
I
most
was-
people are not seeing what you're saying. And that's why I want to show you how we ourselves have promoted things over us and not knowing we promoted things over us. You know, and you were doing the same thing. I remember all they had to do is tell me it was some money on the table. I was gone.
Yes.
I was in the wind. So yeah, and Sister Moore.
Yeah, mine is, I don't know if this would be totally constituting this. I find it that what I did is kind of shameful, but I had put things of the worldly, trying to survive and be able to pay the bills, and had said to the Lord, well, you know, when I get some time, you know, I just need to, put most of my focus and energy in the worldly, fleshly means of ways to survive in the flesh.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very much put in the fire, but the Most High has taught me that, because I live on a farm, and like I lived like the pioneer days.
Mm-hmm.
And for a while, I would put that over him coming first under any circumstances, under any mountain that has to be climbed, that tackled in the flesh, that he had to come first.
Yep.
And I went through the fire to come to that realization.
Yep. And Ronte, you said it beautifully, because it's the same as what a lot of us do. And and something what I will always do, I sit there and which was really crazy, especially when I was younger, really, really crazy. I sit there and say, you know, Lord, if you allow me to make this amount of certain money, I used to put a limit on him.
Mhm.
You give me this amount of money, I'm gonna put this, I'm gonna go to church, and I'm gonna put this in church.
Yeah.
And I get that amount of money, and when I get to the church, the money talking to me, and it always changed. And they say, sit there and like I said, I was gonna give 100, it changed to $20. I did it automatically. Why? Because I'm asking him to do something, which he wasn't doing it. But still the same thing is, I'm still switching that, and I'm putting the money over that. And then if I did something wrong, the people there would sit there and be the bramble and devour me if I did something against it.
Doesn't that also count as using his name in vain by making promises to him like that?
Yeah. Only about 400%.
Yeah. Because I did that with trailering all my horses here. And I'm like, just get my horses in the trailer, because I have like 10 horses, you know. And he got them here safely. And then I didn't follow through, and he took one of them and he died. You know, so you know, it bites you.
Yeah. Yeah. So those things. So we have to see what we saying physical,
Mhm.
and we looking at this spiritual. See, so and these are things, and why he has to hew out a tree, because everything in a tree, we can go out there and look at your trees right now. Your trees have a lot of wood that's, you know, all the material in there to keep it solid. But he need all that stuff out to where he can put his stuff in there. That's what he's saying.
Okay, I get it.
And the only way we can see that is he's using a cedar tree. And we're gonna find out some more on that. And this is why we have to make it a little bit close and personal, to where I want you to see it yourself, to see what we was doing. And Brother John?
Yes, I look at this, for me, it would be from my experience, would be family and traditions.
Ooh, boy, man, we almost, hey, don't mess around and get us in trouble. So you talking about family and traditions.
Family and tradition, putting them over the Most High and choosing to ignore it. Even as a child, you feel funny and weird around this, and you have questions, but your trust is in that family and their traditions.
you stepping on you stepping on a whole bunch of toes with those family and traditions, because you have 2 traditions coming up right now. And many people is going to put that bramble over God. Meaning what? Soon as you sit there and you don't do according to what that bramble need done, you scum of the earth, you low down, and they're going to cast you out. Like, and then what? How they going to do it? They're going to devour you, and that fire is going to come out, and you'll be devoured like you don't even exist. Based on that alone. And
Yeah.
you moving something that's physical, and you already have to be prepared on looking what's spiritual. And we're gonna get into all that, but that's hitting a hard one, because I'm telling you right now, for most people, these two basically heathen holidays that's coming up, these are the ones that's mostly detrimental to most people. Now, mind you, what most people don't know, Halloween is just a step behind Christmas. Your most popular heathen holidays is Christmas first, Halloween is right behind it. And then you got other ones that fall in. And if you don't hold to it, those brambles will come out and they will devour you. They will devour you. So I appreciate you guys for even sharing those, and we need to put those in there. And what we're going to do, we're going to go to let me pull that back up. Let me move this over here so I can get to it easier. Okay, so what we need to also do here. Dang it! Why is it doing that? Okay, so now we need to put Judges 9:15. And we need those there. Because if we don't do anything, then the bramble yes. That's who bramble is. Most people don't even know that. And it'll come out and it'll devour those cedar trees. So either you're going to take what's going on, or you're going to sit there and you got to stand your ground, or you're going to be hewn out. And you're going to be hewn yourself from all this stuff. So we got to see how to change this and what he's going to do. So what he's doing, he want to break you. He's going to break you down. And when you see breaking, and most people see breaking as one way, but breaking in Hebrew, it actually has 2 meanings. This is what most people don't know. It has 2 meanings. It has one, bringing to birth, and the other one is breaking. And we're going to see that. We're going to see that actually in Scripture. Let's go and we're going to look at that. Let me pull this back up, and we're going to look at that. And these verses, why we need to make sure that you write those down, and then we got to go in and we got to get those verses in before I go. I'm going to do this one, then we're going to go look at something. So let's go to Psalms. We're going to go to Psalms, and we're going to look at chapter 29. And with that, we're going to look at something that's really, really important, to where you're going to see, and most times, most people don't understand exactly how the Hebrew language actually works, but they're going to run you to Yiddish and they'll screw you up. This is the important part. So let's start at verse 4. It says, the voice of Yahweh is powerful. So we know we have to be obeying him, because why? You cannot see him. He's spirit. He's eternal. You can't see him, but his spirit can reside in your heart. So these are things we know. Now watch, it's powerful. The voice of Yahweh is full of majesty. Why? The voice of Yahweh breaketh the cedars. This ain't talking about breaking you in half and doing these things to you. This is talking about breaketh. He will bring to birth cedars. Meaning what? Yea, Yahweh breaketh cedars of Lebanon. Meaning what? He gonna bring cedars of Lebanon to birth. Meaning what? Watch how this works in the construction and what's going on in the language of Hebrew. It says, he maketh them to skip like a calf. Lebanon and Syron like a young unicorn. Do everybody know what a unicorn is? Unicorn is in the Bible a couple of times, but most people don't know what a unicorn is. And if anybody don't know, I'll tell you what it is, but do anybody in the back know what it is? They can just share it with everybody. And actually, we got a whole bunch of people know. So I'm just going to bring you all up just to make sure. I have Elder Smith, Brother John, and I have Brother Lynn up.
Rhinoceros.
Exactly the point.
Yes.
Exactly the point. And most people don't even know, most people don't even know what that is. And that's all it is. It's a rhinoceros. Why do they call it a unicorn? Because it's a powerful animal. Two, it has one horn. Now, as well as we know, and I forgot what country that is. It has one where a rhino do have two. It's in one country, one part of the country where they have one small one and one big one. But that is a unicorn. And when the Bible speaks of a unicorn, that is the unicorn it's speaking of. And then it got to verse 7 that's in here. The voice of Yahweh divideth. He gonna divide what? Flames of fire. So he's gonna bring this to birth. This is what he's talking about. So we need to know this. So we need to understand more how we will be skipping like a calf. So now the trees, what it's saying here, the trees is literally the cedars of Lebanon. He gonna make them skip like a calf. So how is a tree gonna skip like a calf, and it's supposed to be stationary? So he's talking spiritual, but most people are gonna take it literal. So if he's going to bring us to birth, and we have to see how he's going to do this. We have to understand how he's going to do it. Meaning what? We're going to go to another one. Don't worry, we're going to put those in there to where we have it. We're going to go to one where most people always screw up at, where they try to go through there, and we're going to go into Solomon. Solomon tells you everything. Solomon breaks down more stuff than anybody really know. He breaks down pretty much a whole bunch of the Bible. But it goes on here. He says, his legs are as pillars of marble, set upon sockets of fine gold. He's telling you keys on what we need to know, what they talking about. His countenance is as Lebanon, excellent as cedars. He's being very direct. The Bible is extremely direct, letting you know, one, who is cedars and why they keep bringing up this Lebanon. So we got to understand who is cedars and why is this Lebanon keep coming up. Let me pour this back over. That's why I was trying to get over here. So we need to understand one more. And I'm gonna see if I can put that. Yeah, I can put that in there. So we want to put in there Psalms. And we're going to put in 29, 4-7. Why? Because I'm going to see if I can copy that besides doing a whole bunch of typing. That's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to attempt to do that. And let me see. And we're going to go to Psalms 29. And I'm going to attempt to do that. So what do I want here? This is what I want right here. And I don't know if it's going to work, but I'm going to try it. Don't quite work. So let me try this. Let me try something else. I thought that would work. Let me see if I can do that. Yep, that worked. So it's in the voice of the Lord breaketh the cedars. So I want you to put a bracket there. And I want you to put bring to birth. That's what he's talking about. Bring to birth. He's going to bring you to the knowledge of what he's talking about. The cedar trees. Cedar trees. Cedar tree is letting you know it's talking about people. It's letting you know it's talking about people. But we need to understand a little bit more about these people. We need to get a better understanding about these people. So if he's going to prepare, we got to prepare our bodies for something. We have to make sure what we're doing. So before we finish out some of this, let's go up and we're going to sit there. Well, let me go up. I'm going to go up and we're going to figure out something. And we're going to see. So as we preparing our bodies for this, so now we know it's cedar trees. We clearly know it's cedar trees. So now we're getting ready to mark up a book. We have to mark the book up. Why? Because we're going to know a lot of things, what's going on. So let's look at this, and I need to put this. Okay, think I got it. Okay, so now let's look at this as a whole. So now what we want first, and it says in Hiram, king of Tyre, sent servants unto Solomon. So what is this here? It's a statement that's being made out of the Bible, but what I want you to do is take this, and I wonder, can I do this? Let me see. If I can do this, let me see, underline text. Oh, well, no, that's gonna be too big. Don't want that. Don't want that. But what we want to do right here, statement, above statement, what you want to do is put action. You want to put something that he done something. How do we know this? It says, in Hiram, king of Tyre, sent his servant. So the statement is letting you know on what happened. So it's an action that he actually performed. So you need to make sure you have that there. And you can put doing something, or he proceeded, whatever you want to put there that help you understand what was happening. You need to put that there. I was gonna mark it up, but my thing don't want to do quite what I need there. And I don't want to put that pencil there. So what we going to do there? So now we know this is completely unto Solomon. Now with the supporting statement, or just draw an arrow there. Now the supporting statement. So he did this action, but he did it for a what? He did it for a reason. That's the supporting his statement that he just made. So right there, we got to put the reason he made this statement to him. So that's what's going to go aboard here. It's supporting the statement. It's supporting the statement. So it's the reason on why he did. Why? Because he had heard that he had anointed him king in the room of his father. That's what he found out. That's what he found out. And now what we got here? We got another supporting statement that's supporting this one that support the main statement. And the main reason the action was even caused for us to see what was going on. That's how we see this. So what is this here? It should tell you automatically. So that tells you clearly, now we know that he heard that he anointed him king, and it says, for Hiram was ever a lover of David. So tell you what, that's another reason why. He heard something and he was a lover of David. So now we know that. So we want to put that there, and these are the reasons. So now when you look back at this scripture, now you know we getting ready to set up things to where we're going to get down there, and then we're going to pull some more information. So when you're doing this, we got to see, how was this being set up to prepare our body? Because now we know we're cedar trees. So we need to understand how this works out. So let's move down a little bit more. We're gonna go down to verse 2. So verse 2 is a short one, and it tells you right there a statement. So if it's a statement, then right above there we need to see, and it says, "And Solomon sent." See that right there? Solomon sent. So if he sent something, something happened. So that we know that an action happened. So you can put action, and you can put anything else that you want to put there. You can put action or did or whatever, but I just put action there. That's what happened. So Solomon performed the action. He sent to Hiram saying. Saying. In this statement here, we have to remember here, this is the topic. The statement is the topic right here in verse 3. This is the key to everything we need to know. This is your key. So put right here, you write topic of the statements, or just put topic. We have to figure out why. It says, "Thou knowest how that David, my father, could not build a house unto the name of Yahweh." That's the topic. We know that. He's even telling him that. He said, "And what? And the Lord for Yahweh his God, for the wars which were about him on every side, until Yahweh put them under his soles of his feet." This is giving you all the information you want to know. But now we're going to see right here where you want to put some little information if you want to. Some little information if you want to. And what we're going to do, you can sit right here, you can sit there, he says right here, knoweth. You can put that one. But right here, you want to mark. Because right in here is certain things you want to mark just to let people know why you want to do certain things. So you want that one? And let me see, can I still, I got to highlight it again. And the reason I'm doing this is because I want you to see what I'm doing. And see it, we're going to see it from the Hebraic side. So, and I'm doing that for that reason. So you're going to, if you got different highlighters, you want to highlight that. Why? Because the wars is telling you something else. The wars we need to know. So of the wars, or you want to put wars, but you can highlight all of the wars, but I'll just do wars. Why? Because of the wars is the reason of the topic. So it's a reason. Mean what? Now he's going to clarify what's going on. So you can put clarify, just put right there and just mark up there and you just put clarify. Because he's going to clarify what we was doing. He's going to clarify what he was doing. Clarifying all his statements on what was being made. These are the things that we have to look at and make sure when you're looking at this, you're looking at it with a critical eye. So now we got to go down to the fourth statement. It was another statement made. And now this statement, we want background information. So based on what he said, we need to figure out what happened, because now we're going to get background information on all the statements he just made. When you look at this, we have to get out the mindset of, oh, well, this said this and move down. We can't be doing that. We got to look at a whole picture view of this. So this here is going to give you some background information. Why? But now Yahweh, my God, have given me rest on every side. How? You see what his father did? That's giving you background information why he got rest already. So he wouldn't have received this if his father wouldn't have did what he did. The background information. Because he said that he put everybody under his foot, and then Solomon became king, and now he has rest on every foot. and so that there is neither adversary nor evil occurrent. Clear as day. Clear as day. So it gets better. It gets better. So now you can sit here and we can see a little bit more on what was going on, because either with this here, we could put more here just on this here. And that's in the negative tense. That's a negative denial in also evil occurrent is still in a negative tense. But the reason why I'm holding it not to that, and I'm asking you not to do that, because what I don't want you to do is become confused, because we got to take it piece by piece, and as we learn more on how you need to see this, you'll get better understanding to where then we can start really putting in work. Really putting in work. So now we got to go down to the next statement. The next statement. So now we're going to look at now, what do this mean? It says, and behold. And behold. So we know here is a statement, but he's saying what? And remember, I propose to build a house unto the name of Yahweh, my God. And this here is just telling you that's the speeches that he's using. Behold, I propose. That's the speech he's using. And I want to make sure that everybody understanding what we're doing so far. Because if not, I'm gonna tell you, because we're gonna enter some deep waters, and I don't want to go back and we don't know. So is everybody clear on in the class what we're doing so far? Okay, and okay, go ahead, my sister.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, so behold would be remember and not understand, right?
Yeah, you can use both. It's interchangeable.
Okay.
Yeah, because you can sit there and say and understand, but if you look at the language structure and understand, so either you remove and then just say understand, I propose, but just remember I propose to build. So you see what I'm saying?
Yes, sir.
So that's why we make those language choices based on how it's structured out.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And so now we sit there and we see what he's doing. So now he's going to make a more explanation on why he was doing this. Why? Because he's going to tell you a little bit more right here. What is he going to do? He's going to sit right here. Where is it? And Lord, my God, son. Did I have the right part? 1 second. Let me move this. Okay. Now what we want to do is get this. So now to build, so now we can sit there and see some of this here where he's talking about some of this that he want to do. So to that he should build a house unto my name. So now we unto my name, and then we can see what he's talking about right here. But if you look at verse 6, this is where he's going to get a little bit more deeper on some stuff, and he's going to elaborate a little bit more differently on some things. So what we want to do and what we want to understand is he has here, let me see, I got that there. You want that there. Why do you want that there? Because this one here, he's actually going to say, and this is actually a topic, because that's why he's saying thy son, whom I have set upon the throne in my room, in thy room. That's why we want to see that. And now we're going to see one more part to what we're going to look at, to where we want to do this, and then we're going to do what we should be doing. So what we're going to do right here is what? So he's saying, he shall build a house unto my name. And actually, I want that other part too. I want to make sure I get that. So why? Why do we have it that way right there? Because this is a promise that's being made. That's a promise that's being made. So we have to mark that up. If you don't have a book, then mark it up in your Bible the way you can make a note of it. Why is these? I don't need those. I don't even know why those are there. Yeah, interesting. So this is what was going on. This is what's going on. Now we got to understand exactly in verse 6 what was happening, because this is where the party is. It says, now therefore command thou that they hew me cedar trees. In the same as Yahushua even spoke, he said that you guys had these beautiful sepulchres on the outside, they're beautiful, but on the inside, they're full of dead man bones. So you have to hew them out. You have to hew these out. So he tells you something right here. Another statement. This statement is more particular to what we need to do. Why? Because he's going to tell you a couple of things. Therefore, for that reason, what he's going to do, he's going to make a commandment. Command thou. So he's not asking. Command thou that they hew me cedar trees. So now is not asking you to clean yourself before you come to him. This is a commandment. Most people think that it's voluntary. If you come into him, that's commanded. You have to do this. Hew me out cedar trees. Why? For that purpose of what he's talking about and what the topic is. Because the topic is what? And we're going to put that right here now. My servants shall be thy servants. That's the topic. That's the topic. That's the topic of what's going on. And then he makes that more as where shall be with thy servant, but then he emphasizes it more, and he makes another promise as he goes on when he, went too far out, as when he goes on, because he got another promise that he's doing a little bit more, because he tells you, unto thee will I give higher for thy servant according to all that thou shalt appoint. That's a promise. That's a promise. But you look at the statement he made there. You see the rest of the statement that he's making there. So now he's going to tell you something with this supporting statement here, the supporting statement, for thou knoweth. So if he knoweth, then he's telling you something that he already have experience in. So we know what that's talking about. So if he knows something, he's giving you something that has experience in. You can put it there if so, but I don't want to overwhelm you with a bunch of information to where we won't have a problem with going back. But he's giving you this here, for thou knoweth, he's giving you, saying something that he knows by experience. That's all this is. I can highlight it, but you can put experience there, but that's up to you if you put it there, but you'll be making a lot of notes, and you just need to be able to go back and know what that's talking about. But he said that by experience. By experience. And this part is all negative. When you look at it, it says that there is none among us any that can skill to hew timber like who? See, because this right here, he broke this down in this quick. That's why I say the language changes from here to here, to right here. Why? Because he's saying there is none among us any that can skill to hew timber. Now it breaks and it goes into another one. Why? Because he's saying like a comparison, and he's comparing us to the Sidonians. So we need to figure out why he's saying it in this manner. So let's go through some more, and we got to look at it a little bit more. We got to look at it a little bit more, and we have to see why is he saying this and see how spiritual this is. Because if we supposed to be preparing our bodies for the Most High, and we are looked at like cedar trees, we have to understand one, what cedar trees are and what they mean and what other trees mean. Because if you look at Judges, you'll see they went to olive tree, they went to a fig tree. They went to these trees and none of them would go. So we need to understand what these trees are and what they represent. We need to go there and find out what these trees represent. And you have a lot of people, same thing we have. We have some people talking about they don't understand spiritual, or they don't understand the Bible is pretty much all spiritual. And if you have people that's showing you literal, I'm gonna tell you right now, literal gonna get you in hell. Because you need to be able to understand this in the on the spiritual level. And if you can't, I'm gonna tell you right now, you have a problem. So we're gonna go to 41, and we need to understand how this is working out. We're gonna look at 19 and 20 to get a little bit better on how these trees work out. Now, we can get some, and we can pull a little bit from 18, but 19 and 20 is the ones you want. It says, I will open rivers in high places and fountains in the midst of the valleys. I will make the wilderness is where you are right now, a pool of water, and the dry land springs of water. So even though we hear he's saying he'll do this, is he doing it right now? Yes, he is. Why? You right here learning right now. So if you say he's not, then you're lying to yourself. But he said what? I will plant in the wilderness the cedar. He's letting you know all the time what he has done. How did he say this? You can go right to Deuteronomy 28:68. He's going to send us in the wilderness. He's going to send us to bondage. In the shittah tree, in the myrtle, in the olive tree, in the oil tree, I will set in the desert the fir tree, the pine, the box tree together. We need to know what these trees are. We don't know what they are. That's where we're going to get screwed up. It goes on more. That they may see and know and consider and understand together that the hand of Yahweh have done this, the Holy One of Israel have created it. He the one put us here, and then we have people sitting there talking about we want reparations for something God did. So we need to understand the spiritual meaning more so. What is a olive tree? What is these things it's talking about? We have to understand, because the olive tree or the olive wood tree, so as mentioned before, so we need to understand what that means, because the cedar tree, you need to mark it down. Actually, I can even go over there. I can put it on there myself. Besides telling you that I know y'all think shoot, he can write down some of this stuff himself. So, but I don't have nowhere to put it. So I'll put it here. I can put this here. So we need to know what a cedar tree. So you know what it is. What is a cedar tree? What is a cedar tree? Or olive? So we'll do it this way. Let's do it this way. Uh-oh. We don't want that. So we want cedar tree, olive tree, and what do it mean? What do it mean according to the Bible? According to the Bible. Now you'll find it. You got to look at quite a few places, but I do those on purpose to where you can, when you study, you can find it and you can have more enjoyment from it. But it means, this is key. Spiritual good. Spiritual good means what? ST. So it means celestial good, not terrestrial good. Spiritual good equal celestial good. So he's planting them in the wilderness, meaning he's doing something in the land that is outside of the land that they cannot see, because you physically as a tree and you technically don't move, but as a spiritual body, you're moving all around. Technically what he's doing. And you're among Gentiles, because that's what he's talking about when he's talking about those other trees. So when he's talking about those other trees, we have to understand what he's saying. Now, did everybody understand that, or do we have to go anywhere else on this? And we have Brother Lynn. Brother Lynn?
So Elder, the other trees opposite of the cedar and the olive are those that we need to pay attention to in terms of who we are learning from.
Yeah, exactly the point of what he was doing over here. So as he tells you, what he's telling you right here, okay, he said, I will plant in the wilderness the cedar. He's telling you clearly. In the shittim tree, the myrtle, the oil tree, I will set in the desert, the fir tree, and the pine, and the box tree together. Everybody's going to be there together. Why? That they may know and consider and understand together what? You're different from one another. How do we know we're gonna be different from one another? All you gotta do is run right here to Deuteronomy. And this is just one place you can go. Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse, and go right down here. And what did he say? Remember, we just had in Psalms where he's talking about my voice. You remember that?
Yes.
Okay, it says, but it shall come to pass if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of Yahweh thy God, and observe to do all his commandments in his statutes, which he command thee this day, that these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Right in there, so he's letting you know everything going to grow together. But the same, and most people now, now everybody know where I get my analogy from. Because the analogy I run, when you outside and you playing outside, and your mom and them tell you to come in at 6 o'clock and you don't come in at 6 o'clock, you be with all your friends.
That's right.
They come out there and they gonna whoop you, not your friends.
Jack you up.
That's the same way Most High saying, I'm dealing with you. I'm not dealing with them, I'm dealing with you. That you may know that he's dealing with you all the time. How do we make this also seem? He's trying to prepare your body to understand you're different from all of them. So as I'm bringing you up with everybody else, I can care less what they're doing. You obey my voice.
His voice.
Don't they telling you it's okay? Obey them if you want to, and I'm gonna punish you for it. And I will even punish you unto death. This is the seriousness, because he made this clear when we go right back here to Isaiah. So when we look at Isaiah, we're going to go to 40, 41. And then as we go right down here, we look at 19 and 20. He said, all these are going to be growing together. All of them. They're going to be together in the wilderness. I will plant in the wilderness. Here, he's making this perfectly clear. It's not in code. The only thing in code that's in a parable format is trees. Showing you something physical, because you can walk outside and you can see the tree, but he's calling you a what? A cedar tree.
Cedar.
He made it, did not he make himself clear enough? Because I'm gonna show you another one to where he made himself really clear. And then he said that they may see and know. Now you know why. Are you sitting here? I tell you what, is you watching the stock market or you got to go to work tomorrow?
I have to go to work tomorrow.
Okay. Now you got people that's here that's planning. They just gonna see on the stock market tomorrow and see how much money they make. Are you following?
I got you.
You got people tomorrow seeing what kind of Rolls Royce or Bentley they're gonna buy. They arguing over it should be white or blue.
Wow.
Are you following me?
I do.
And we wondering, we're gonna tell you what, I got a bill coming up. They sitting there, don't even know what a bill is. You follow me?
I got you.
So these are the things, and all this, we grow up together. You got people that'll come here, he'll make them very high, and he gonna make us very low. And the first thing we do is, how they do this? How they get this? Why they do this? Why, we're gonna tell you what, how they just got over here, and they just got here, and all of a sudden the government put them all up here. Everything gonna be together that you may know and see what he said over there in Deuteronomy, he's doing.
Right here.
Right here, right in front of your face. And the first thing we do, we blind our eyes to it and we want to blame it on everybody else. This is the problem we have. And the cedar tree is spiritual. So if we are going to be a cedar tree, we're going to be hewn out and get rid of all the junk. And 1 second. Brother Matt.
I won't hold you long, Elder, on that question. So no matter what the world do, no matter how much church service it has, no matter how much they worship around the whole world, no matter what, God only focusing on us, that cedar tree.
You said it all. You care less what they doing. What are you doing? Are you obeying his voice? I don't care what they doing. He said, you obey my voice. You don't obey my voice? Okay, I'm going to punish you because I told you, didn't ask you, I told you what to do. And you didn't do it. I told you exactly what to do and you did not do it. And we'll put blame on anybody but ourselves. Yes, Sister Johnson. Anybody but ourselves. Yeah, Sister Johnson. Yeah, if you can lower that volume, go ahead. Yeah, Sister Johnson.
Elder,
Yes.
what if
Yeah. Can you lower that? Can you lower that audio? Because I'm getting
the volume? Okay. Elder, what if another nation is obeying his voice?
What if another nation obeying his voice?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let's look at it.
Okay.
Because I'm not going to answer it. I'm going to let the Bible answer it. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So we're going to look at a couple of things. I'm going to look at 2 verses. And then you come up with your own reasoning because you're going to come up with it yourself. All right.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Yes.
Okay, we're going to go to Matthew 15:24. It says what?
Matthew 15:24.
Yeah.
But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel.
Okay, so that's one.
Hmm?
So you can say whatever you want to say. You can tell God whatever you want to tell him. You see what a servant just said, don't you?
Yes, sir.
Okay, we're gonna get a little bit more. I'm gonna go to Uncle Idris. And we're gonna get a whole bunch of information from him. Uncle Idris says what in verse 23?
And said, O Lord, that bearest rule of every wood of the earth and of all the trees thereof, thou hast chosen thee one only vine.
So if you don't like that, you need to go talk to him.
Gotcha.
But watch this, verse 24.
And all lands of the whole world, thou hast chosen thee one pit, and of all the flowers thereof, one lily.
So again, we don't like that. Anyone don't like that? Cross that out your Bible.
Understand?
It ain't saying nothing, but he's telling you right there, point blank.
Okay.
Watch this, verse 25.
And of all the depths of the sea, thou hast filled thee one river, and of all builded cities that thou hast hallowed Sion unto thyself.
See, that's all he's been saying. And actually, he hallowed Zion to himself. And watch the wait a minute. Verse 26.
And of all the fowls that are created, that has named thee one dove.
Mm-hmm.
And of all the cattle that are made, thou hast provided thee one sheep.
Now, we have a problem with that?
No, sir.
Okay, so again, so this is the issue that most of them actually have. I want to put one more up, but 1 second. Yeah, and I'm gonna put one more Uncle Idris got there. But now we're gonna see on people, verse 27.
And among all the multitudes of people, thou hast gotten thee one people, and unto this people whom thou lovest, thou gavest a law that is approved of all.
And let's look at the law, and then we're gonna look at those other people. So let's go to the law that he did.
Okay.
And actually, I'm gonna show you when he first did it, to where then we're gonna go to the law. And we're gonna go to 49, verse 1 and 2.
49, 1 and 2. And Jacob called unto his sons and said, gather yourselves together, that I may tell you that which shall befall you in the last days. Gather yourselves together, and hear, ye sons of Jacob, and hearken unto Israel your father.
So we know, so he getting ready to lay down a law, and watch this law that he watch what he did. We're gonna go to Psalms 147. We're gonna go, I want you to read 19 and 20.
147, 19 and 20. He showeth his word unto Jacob, his statutes and his judgments unto Israel. He hath not dealt so with any nation. And as for his judgments, they have not known them. Praise ye the Lord. Wow.
Okay, so now we're gonna concrete all this. So now, what I said, when you out there and you playing,
Mm-hmm.
and he called you to come in the house at a certain time, we're gonna find out why I say that. We're gonna look at verse 56.
56.
I'm going down. I want you to read verse 56.
Okay.
And read this real slow. Go
Okay.
ahead.
As for the other people, which also come of Adam, thou hast said that they are nothing, but be like unto spittle, and hast likened the abundance of them unto a drop that falleth from a vessel.
And he said they are what?
Spittle.
Yeah. And he said, and so he's letting you know exactly where you're coming from.
Wow.
Well, well, he ain't done. He ain't even done talking. He got a whole lot to talk about. You got a whole lot. Well, let's go to Isaiah and let's see where Uncle Idris got that from. So we're gonna go over here to Isaiah.
Okay.
And I want you to read verse 17.
Isaiah 17. All nations before him are as nothing, and they are counted to him less than nothing and vanity.
And do we have an issue?
No issue.
So do you
No issue.
do you need me to answer anything? You see, I don't have to say anything. He's very upfront. He's very blunt. People can cover their eyes up all they want to.
Mm.
The Bible is extremely blunt. And the only
Like the other day, I was just talking to one young man this afternoon in the store, and I was basically telling him that he has only known us. That's it. And normally I would have, all the scriptures in my phone so that I could go right there and then and just show him. But I didn't have my phone with me.
Mm-hmm.
But I did let him know that he's only known us. That's it.
Well, you see it right there. So we can sit there and say what we want. You see, it doesn't matter what anybody say. Oh, well, God is not like that. You can say that all day long.
Yes, Elder Johnson. Can I get, what's that, Carla Johnson on there? Sorry to interrupt. We go to First Idris 5 and read 67 through 73.
See, oh yeah, that's running a little bit too many for me to run through it. Yeah, no, that's all right. That's all right.
So 70.
67. Can we go to 67 and 73?
5 and verse 70.
5. Okay. See you.
Yeah. So you can hit that and then we'll take care of that one. But the main part, what he want them to know, he's honing in on one people.
One people.
All times.
Mm-hmm.
The only time other people come involved is when they came involved to us. If they come and they mingle with us and they come into us, or they get ready to try to do something to us, they come into the picture in the Bible.
Gotcha.
Other than that, they're not in the Bible.
Wow.
You didn't see the Greeks come on the scene until the Greeks came into us.
Mhm.
Romans didn't come on the scene until the Romans came into us.
Came in us.
You follow me?
I follow.
This is when these things happen. So other than that, we had no issues.
None whatsoever.
So this is what a lot of people have a problem with when we're dealing with that. So what I want to do is we're going to look at a little bit more to look at the more spiritual meaning on what we're talking about. So let me go here. Let me go to Hosea to get a little bit more. And 1 second. We're going to go to Hosea, and we're going to look at something real important in Hosea, because Hosea carries a lot of information also. And we got to go down through it quite a bit. Now it's saying, oh, Israel, is letting you know Israel. That's singular. It's not plural, because Israel's, it would sit there and it also join other things into it. But it said, return unto Yahweh thy God, for thou hast fallen by thy iniquity. So by sins. But you're going to see, he's talking about trees. You're going to see this. I promise you, you're going to see this. Watch this. It says, take with you words. How do you get words? Words is something physically you can hear and something physically that goes in. And if you believe it, you're gonna react to it some way, negative or positive. That's a guarantee. That's a guarantee. But watch what happened. In return to Yahweh, saith unto him, take away all iniquity and receive us gloriously. So when we render the calves of our lip, Asher shall not save us. Physical. But he goes on more. We will not ride upon horses, neither will we say any more to the work or our hands that ye are our gods. So this is what we got to make sure is clear. But why? Because when we make other things gods, The problem we have when we do something wrong or we do something that they dislike, they blow that fire out and they're going to burn you for it. And then it says, for in thee the fatherless findeth mercy. I will heal their backsliding. I will love them freely, for my anger is turned away from him. I will be as the dew unto Israel. Something you need to be meditating on day and night. Why? He shall grow as a lily and cast forth his roots as what? As Lebanon. As Lebanon. His branches shall spread, and his beauty shall be as the olive tree, and his smell as Lebanon. It keep going right back to it. They that dwell under his shadow, not somebody else's, his shadow shall return and receive as the corn and grow as the vine, and the scent there shall be as the wine of Lebanon. He makes this clear as day. Clear as day every time. And we have to understand that the difference between the two when we do it. So when we get here, we need to put in a couple of papers. We got to put in Isaiah 41, 19 and 20. And I'm going to split that in Hosea 14, 1 and 7. So we want those there. And now we got to look at how they will sit there and do something to where we have to do it. Because if you're going to be a celestial tree, we have to hewn out, is what he was saying. We have to hewn out all these impurities out of us. You see, he's been saying that in Isaiah and Hosea. In Isaiah and Hosea. And we're going to see a comparison where we can see some stuff where it's like an olive tree and gleaning the grapes, and how he's stripping of an olive tree in grapes. So we need to see these comparisons and see how this actually works out. And this is what we do when we want to sit there and see exactly what is going on within us. So we're going to go right back to Isaiah. We're going to go to Isaiah, we're going to go to 17, and we're going to look at one verse. We're going to go to 17 and 6. It says, yea, yet glean grapes shall be left in it, and shaking of an olive tree, 2 or 3 berries on the top of the uppermost brow, 4 or 5 in the uttermost fruitful branches thereof, saith the Lord God of Israel. Now, is this talking about keeping what? So this is talking about keeping the commandments and what they were doing. The fruitful branches is the one that the uttermost branches is talking about doing the commandments of God. That's all fruitful means nothing else. But people will sit there and tell them, oh yeah, you're going to be fruitful and doing all these things. But he equates children to being fruitful. Because the love that's produced from a man and a woman produced the fruit of a child. And he's talking about the same thing with the spiritual. So it's the spiritual, if you're producing anything that's spiritual, that's godly, you're producing fruit. That's the same thing, that's a child that comes from it. He's saying the same identical thing, and he's showing you physical so you can understand it in spiritual. And this is why most of us get it mixed up. This is why we get a lot of this stuff mixed up for that reason. Because we think everything physical, and we look at a child as a child and a person as a person. And he tells you it's between a man and a woman, and this man and this woman, and they come together and they produce a child. And from that child they produce is going to be what? Good or bad. The same thing with that seed that's placed in you, either it's going to produce something that is good or it's going to produce something that is bad. I'm talking identical to the Bible. But we don't see those because we so caught up carnally and we just read stuff verbatim. And if anybody sit there and they'll tell you 2 people could have a child, it's going to be good or bad. But from that child, they came together in love. He's saying the identical thing. Let's go to Isaiah 24. And this is the biggest problem where people sit there. Let me read this first. And it says, when thus it shall be in the midst of the land, among the people, when thus it shall be in the midst, in the amongst the land of the people, there shall be a shaking of an olive tree, and as a gleaning grapes with vintage is done. It's telling you plain as day what's going on. So we should be fruitful. But are we? If we have been a Lebanon tree and we are Lebanon trees and cedar trees from Lebanon, and are we hewing out our trees? Are we hewing out this filth that's in our bodies? Are we hewing out all this craziness? Let's look at it a little bit more. Let's go a little bit deeper in this. We're going to go also to Psalms. We go to Psalms. We're going to go down to 128. And we want to look at a couple of verses. It says, thy wife, just what I was just talking about, thy wife shall be as fruitful, should be as a fruitful vine by the sides of thy house. Thy children like olive plants around about the table, thy table. Behold, that thus shall the man be blessed with that feareth the Lord. The Lord shall bless thee out of Zion, and thou shalt see the good of Jerusalem all the days of thy life. Yea, thou shalt see thy children's children, and peace upon Israel. He's not speaking nothing carnal. But people are going to read this verbatim carnal. Nothing is carnal. He's telling you right here, the fruit that you're going to produce is the same as you produce a child. If you love your Lord thy God, you will worship him with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. The same thing you're going to do if you go with a man or the man with a woman. You're going to come together and you're going to produce something which is going to come from it, which is the spirits that's coming from that, which is in love. It should be a fruitful vine. And that fruitful vine going to produce fruit. And that fruit that comes from it, it should be to where you can eat from that fruit. Why? Because that fruit going to produce more fruit. If we don't understand this, we're going to have a problem. If we don't understand this, this is going to be the biggest problem. So let's go back to 1 Kings. We're going to go back to 1 Kings chapter 5. And we're going to look at verse 6 again. It says, now, if it's going to be fruitful, now therefore command thou that thou hewn me cedar trees out of Lebanon. And my servant shall be with thy servant. And unto thee I will give hire for thy servants according to all that thou shalt appoint, for thou knowest that there is not among us any that can skill to hew timber out of like the Sidonians. We have to understand what's going on all the time. So if we don't sit there and we feel we don't need to do anything and we good on everything, then we have a problem. I'm trying to move this back over. Let me see. So if we don't sit there and we don't do anything, this is the problem we're going to have. Why is this not doing it? I don't know why this. Why is this? There we go. Now we're going. Now we're cooking. So, shoots. Why is it doing that? Okay. So the main thing is it constantly tell you out of Sidonian, and it's telling you none hone out like the Sidonians. Why is it even saying it in that manner? One, and two, what is Lebanon talking about? See, these are things that need to be answered, and we need to understand what's going on. I'm trying to sit there and check one thing that we need to look at that's more important. So this is the part where you have to go in, and I want to be able to see to where you can look in your Bible, and you need to know two things. We need to know two things. And those two things is what? We need to know what is Lebanon, and we need to know what is Zidonians is. We need to know what these two are. Because we don't know what those two are, and not carnally, we need to know what they are spiritually, then we have a problem. Because this here, we got to go into next week, and it's the same thing we're going to be hitting in, but we need to figure out before we get to next week, what are those two? What is Lebanon? Because I didn't even tell you what Lebanon was, and I didn't tell you what Zidonians is. So besides giving, okay, well, let me tell you what this is, and keep moving. No, because we have to hone out what's in our body, and we have to put some work in. We have to throw out some of this trash and figure out what's going on. Do we have any questions before we come out of here? Uh-oh. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's funny that you're leaving us with our homework. I was going to ask you, can you elaborate a little bit more about the Sidonians? And can you leave us with a hint to get us on our way for our homework?
Yeah, I can leave you with a hint. What you want to know? What the hint you want?
Well, just like what first of all, what is the meaning of Sidonians?
What's the meaning of it?
Like the term itself, this like the spiritual term.
Yeah, but that's the spiritual. What you're supposed to be doing?
Okay.
Yeah. So
I guess I'll be quizzed later.
yeah. So what you want to do? I tell you what you do. Where can we go? Let's
because I had a hole in my understanding. We're going through and I'm getting all the cedar, and I'm absorbing it, and then I was feeling left with a hole in my, understanding.
Okay. Yeah. So let's do this. I'm trying to sit there. Let me see. Let me go to Deuteronomy. I'm trying to think. Deuteronomy 3:9. Let me see. Is that it? Deuteronomy 3:9. Yeah. Okay. 1 second. Let me pull that up. 1 second. I want to try to make something. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. So it's telling you right here. It says, but the cattle in the spoiled cities we took for prey to ourselves. And we took at that time out of the hand of the two kings of the Amorites, the land that was on the side Jordan, on this side Jordan, from the river of Aron and Mount Hermon, which Hermon and Zidonians call Siron.
Okay, I remember.
You better go look up.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
And that'll give you some good information on what you need to point you, because that actually point you, almost putting you on top of it.
Thank you, Elder.
Okay, so I want to make sure. I want to check something. Where is this? Actually, I want to go over here to 3:9 myself, and you can actually. I just want to make sure. Do I need to run this to another area? And nope. Trying to check something, and now that's going to tell you everything you need to know. Everything you need to know. So you should be all right. Do we have any other questions, anyone? Any other questions? Because this here is we can actually take care of quite a bit if we go through this in a good manner, to where those two things we need to know. And spiritually, we're gonna go through them next week. But before I even answer it, I'm gonna ask anybody, do they know what they are? That's the first thing gonna come out of my mouth, I promise you. So do we have any other questions? Or is everybody in a good position right now? So I don't see no one asking any other questions. Look like everybody probably went and started trying to check. But the main thing is, what you got to remember is you got to understand the functioning of what that is. You understand what the function is, you can actually pull it, because then once you get the function, now you can split. Now you can sit there and think on it, chew on it. You can actually end up getting it spiritually, and that's what's going to happen. So understand what the function of those two are, Lebanon and Zidon. You understand the function of what those were. You can actually end up pulling what they actually mean. Not only know what they mean, you can actually see spiritually on how that actually functions. So I just want to make sure. So now with everybody in the back, we should be good. And then I do know this Friday I will be doing another teaching based on what was going on, because as I told down them to what they did, and the same thing. He came out, and that's just an announcement, more so to just let them know. Did an announcement to where I spoke with Michael Israel, and I was trying to set up to where we could meet, but however he felt that he was this high and mighty person, and he didn't want to meet. And then he said if I meet some conditions and all this, maybe later he would meet with me and give me some time, is what he said. So my thing is, I have no interest to meet him or ever meet him at this point. But anytime that he teaches anything that is about the multiple marriages, as I told him, he's on the wrong playing field right now. So every time he bring out one of these heresy teachings about multiple marriages, I will meet that with force. And he's going to find out that he actually don't know the Bible. So that's technically what I'm going to be doing continuously until he go over to Patreon by himself, and he can be over there. He can do whatever he want to do, where then people can support him and do whatever they want to do there. He's over here. He will be met. He'll be met every time, and I'll be one of the main ones he'll be meeting with, because whatever he teach about multiple marriages, I will show you where he is strongly flawed in the Bible. So that teaching will be this Friday, and I will be doing that one this Friday. So you guys can look for that. Then we have our regular teaching on the Sabbath. So other than that, I appreciate everybody that that was part of the class, and anybody else who want to be part of the class, where you can ask the question, do everything else. You have to start going back into the KJBU to where you can get in the back, and then you can catch us live back there and catch it instantaneously. But evidently they were saying it was causing some issues, so the chat is shut down on YouTube, but it's open back here where you can come back here and you can ask any question you like. So with that said, until this coming Friday, until then, I bid to each and every one, make sure you go through it. I want those two. I need those two for this coming the next coming Wednesday. I need those two words. I need them. So I need to make sure you guys have them. And then we're gonna still go through Romans. So we have Friday teaching, Sabbath teaching, a Sunday teaching, then we'll be on next Wednesday. So until then, I bid to each and every person, hey, shalom.